When introducing column method to the children, we start with the expanded method first, which means that we're breaking these numbers down into tens and units. So if we look at the number 53, we're saying that there's 5 tens, which is 50, and 3 units. So we can write this to start with as your 50, add 3, with the biggest number always being on the top. Underneath, put the smaller number in its place value position. So 30, and then your 4 units. Then we work our way down from the right hand side, starting with the units column. So 3 add 4 is 7 units, and then we move to the tens column, which is 50, add 30, which is 80, and if we add those two together, we get 87. So 34 add 53 equals 87. Once the children are ready to move on and they no longer need to write it in the expanded method, we move on to the shorter method of just writing 5 tens and 3 units, add 3 tens and 4 units. Same rules apply, work from the right hand side, so from your units, so 3 add 4 is 7, and then add your tens, 50 add 30 equals 80, but because it's a tens column, we only need to write 8. So 53 add 34 equals 87. Once the children are confident using column method without carrying numbers, they can move on to bigger numbers where they might have to carry across the columns. So again, we start with the biggest number, which is remembering that this 7 is worth 70 because it's in the tens column. So 78 add 47 with the numbers in line in their place value. So here's our units and here's our tens. Then we work through, starting from the units column again. So 8 add 7 is 15. So we put our 5 units in the units column and carry the 10 over into the tens column. Then we add the tens. 7 add 4, which is 11. And don't forget about the one you've carried down here, which gives you 12. But because it's the tens column, we know it's 120. So our 2, showing our 20, goes in the tens column, and we carry our 1 over into a new hundreds column. Bring that up, and your answer is 125. Column addition can also be used when adding decimals together. But this is where your place value is incredibly important. The easiest way to look at it is to look at the numbers as if they were money. So in this instance, our biggest number is 36.3 because its whole number is 36, whereas this one's only 12. So if we put that in 36.3, and then we've got 12.02. Instead of leaving this number blank, if we think back to the money, it's worth putting a placeholder in so that after the decimal place you've got the same amount of numbers either side. Then you work through again from the furthest right hand corner, adding them up. So 0 add 2 is 2, 3 add 0 is 3, 6 add 2 is 8, and 3 add 1 is 4. It's important to put these placeholders in, otherwise you might end up with an answer that says 48.5. And if that's the case, you've gone wrong because what they've done is added these two numbers up instead of the columns. Column addition can be used again with larger numbers and with decimal numbers. It's worth talking to your children though about which number's actually bigger, because although there's 1 digit here and there's 2 after this number, that doesn't make this the biggest number. Instead, we need to be looking at the whole number that comes before the decimal to make our decision. So in this instance, 126.7 is our biggest number. Add the 49.54, reminding your children of where their place value sits. So because 4 is in the tens column, it's worth 40, so it needs to sit under your 2 in below this number. So 49.54. Reminding your children that we cannot leave an empty space, so we need to fill it with a placeholder. So we're going to put in our 0, reminding us again that this is worth 70p and this is worth 54 pence. Then we work our way from the right to left, carrying where we need to. Starting from the right hand column, so 4 add 0 is 4, 7 add your 5 is 12, so we put our 2 in place and we carry our whole 1 over. 6 add 9 is 15, add your 1 is 16, so we put our 6 units in, carry our 10s over. 2 add 4 is 6, add the 1 that you've carried, which gives you 7. Nothing else to carry because it was purely 70, and then into our hundreds column, 100, add nothing is 100. So you're left with the answer 176.24.